Hello everybody, my name is Bob, and today we're going to talk about how to make a stealthy submarine. Let me go ahead and get started with builds. Okay, there are three main factors that go into how stealthy a submarine is. Actually, probably four, but the main factors are what size it is. A bigger vessel is going to be more observable. Also, what it's made of, and also how its connections work. In other words, how do you connect up the weapons to the CPU and so forth, and the sensors and so forth. All of my submarines, I never use a wireless transmitter in any of them. I always direct connect with the AI connection modules. These things, connectors. My construction material of choice is stone. In theory, rubber is better, but I haven't noticed any difference. So I just go with stone. It's got a little bit more durability, which is not really going to matter because this thing is so small that one hit will kill it. But stone has worked well for me. Put it that way. This engine is not super efficient, but it's not the worst, so it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, since the boat is made of stone, I don't need to EMP-proof the CPU, since it's already EMP-proof. If I wanted to, I could put more reinforcement over here, but honestly, if it gets hit at all by any kind of significant torpedo, it's all going to be all over. It's all over. So yeah, no, don't worry about it. And the CPU is going to be very simple because all it's going to use is missiles or torpedoes. And that's basically it. Now we're going to put it on a circling ship AI. And we're going to set it at quite a respectable distance because that's also part of being hard to observe, is being far away. We don't want any rolls to target. For the targeting type systems, we need target prioritization, and that's all. We need very few processing cards because it's only going to have two sensors. It's going to have a wireless snooper and a passive sonar, and that's it. I will go ahead and pop the passive sonar up here. Submarines. What is that weird noise? Submarines are basically like airplanes, which means you have to have control in all three axes. It's going to make your roll control easier if you take advantage of this little trick. Lightweight alloy is the lightest thing in the game. We don't want to put it here because that'd be next to the. Oh, it doesn't really matter because again, if it gets hit, it's dead. So you put alloy right here on top. We're going to extend that a bit because we're going to have room for the torpedoes. And it'll float whether it's actually exposed to the water or not. And then it can help keep it upright. Okay, in addition to the sonar, we're also going to put in a wireless snooper. Because those are the only two instruments it's going to have. So it's going to be totally dependent on that. Anything else would either decrease its stealth or otherwise compromise the design. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it super stealthy. On my dory, the ammo is covered in metal. Honestly, again, if it gets hit, it's dead. Just operate on the assumption that if it ever gets hit, it's dead. So I'm just gonna put it under here and encase it in stone. Again, this is another really kind of futile thing. I put an airspace there in case the forward ammo gets blown up. But again, if any of the ammo blows up, it's all over. So that's really kind of stupid. Stupid of me. Okay, this part is quite important. We're going to set up a decoy, and we're going to have it on a control block. And the bigger the decoy is, generally speaking, the more effective it's going to be. But there's sort of a trade-off of, do you want to really spend that much on it? I've set up on a medium missile. And okay, this here is a problem because I need to have two cable things there. So let's see. I have that there, and we need two cable drums set up on this. That's because this is going to be a harpoon. We also want one ejector. Okay. We're not going to try to bother putting a aerodynamic gantry on this because again, this is supposed to be an inexpensive. Oh, not connected. Why? Supposed to be an inexpensive device. Oh, there's no. That's why. Derp derp derp. I don't have a controller on it. There we go. Yeah, no hatches on that because again, this is almost disposable. So we're not that worried about. We're worried about making sure it doesn't get hit, not what happens if it gets hit. Okay, we're going to set this up with a harpoon, cable drum, sonar target simulator. Now, what I'm doing with this is I want to have a start delay of 1 second. That's so that when it starts broadcasting the sonar signal, it's not right at the ship. So, probably doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with sonar target simulators, but then we're going to put some other things in here instead. I'm going to have to put a ballast tank. I usually have my subs set to stay at about 70 meters. So we're going to go ahead and have this set at have it set at 60 meters. Ballast tank. Okay, and we've got lots of sonar target simulators. We need some regulators because we'd rather not have to replace these all the time. Every time there's not a decoy out there is a potential issue. Regulator. There you go. 3 regulators. Harpoon, cable drum, ballast tank, lots of sonar target simulators, and some regulators. That's basically all there is to it. Okay, and the missile is not set up on a weapon controller. It's set up on a automated control block, and this is what we're going to put in the automated control block. Is if enemy range is anywhere, and we're going to put a minimum interaction interval of 15 seconds. Make sure the range is only 2. Weapon systems, fire. So it will fire one of these off every 15 seconds. And I haven't finessed the timing on that to where make sure that I'm making the maximum use of each decoy. I just 15 seconds seems to work. Okay, here are the torpedoes we're going with. It's got a big wampum warhead, so it should really put the hurt on. And I got ejectors on both sides of the launchers. It's got Identify Printed Pro and stagger fire. I got a nice hole up here, so I'm just going to put the material storage right in here. See, that's 19,000. A little more would be better. Yeah, that's probably good enough. We'll do one more. Throw down a couple of repair bots. Okay, for attitude control, we're just going to put some propellers over here. Now, since we're going for cheap, not pretty, we could simply just leave them hanging out here in the open. However, we have other plans for this area, so we're going to actually wind up covering them up. Pitch control over here, just a couple of propellers stuck on the nose, and we're going to stick a couple more in the back. Okay, now we come to depth control. The first method of depth control that we're going to use is hydrofoils. Okay, and with the hydrofoils, this is a very important step because otherwise you won't be able to control them. Remove this, take that the pitch down to 0, and then spread to neighbors, and do the same thing on the other side. Otherwise, your control blocks will not be able to control these hydrofoils. We're also going to stick an air pump in here, and we're going to control that with control blocks as well. So the control blocks for the hydrofoils are, again, we're going to aim for this to be sitting between 70 and 75. So altitude over speed sea and terrain is between maximum and then negative 69. Hydrofoils. Set angle down. So it's 69 meters or above, it will angle down. If it is negative 75 to, oh, nope, that's wrong area. If it's negative 75 to negative infinity, I'm going to set it up. Okay, there's one more thing that can cause a problem for us, which is What if it's about to hit the ground? What if it's in shallow water? So, the altitude over terrain is between 1 and 14. Oh, nope. Said hydrofoils, hydrofoils. That angle up. And we're going to put that on a higher priority than the other ones. So if it's about to run on the ground, it will nose up. Okay, well, to control the air pump, the altitude over the terrain is between between infinity and negative. What is it, 69? Helium pumps. Set buoyancy 0. Okay, same thing, except in reverse. If it is not, oh wait, nope. It's between negative 75 and negative infinity. Let's just set that up a little bit. We're going to do another one for the, it's just like this one, except for the air pumps. And also, yes, set that to priority 2 as well. Okay, these shall be pointing down. Yes, they are. We all need one more set of control blocks. This is if it's just right, if it's just where we want it. Between negative 70 and negative 74. We're going to set the hydrofoils to 0. So that's where we want it to be, is that in that range. And do the same thing with the air pump, or the air pump. Okay, now we're going to go with the main propulsion. I hate seeing it go in reverse like that. That sucks in my world. So I'm going to set that off. Also, clearly, it's having some roll issues. We'll just stick a roll propeller over here. Let's see if that sorts it out. There we go. Alright, let's see how it does in terms of the speed and the how much engine resources it's taking.
Listening. Moving out.
I probably ought to put a chair in here. Not sure what's up with that. We're just going to stick a chair on the outside. Ah, see this? I did not remove the. I did not remove the this from the pitch control, whatever the hell it is, off of these. So that's why that was doing that. Okay, now it's keeping a nice, fairly constant 70-ish, and let's see how many of how much of the engine power available is being used. Oh, we got tons more we could use. But it's going 33 meters a second, so. Okay, here's another trick that you can use. This thing these things when it turn, and that's kind of almost everything. They tend to slow down to turn, and I don't like that. I want it to go full speed all the time. So we're going to do extra drives, secondary positive. Spread to neighbors. Okay, and then what we're going to need is one PID and 2 control blocks, or yeah, 2 automatic control blocks. So let's go ahead and find a spot for that in here somewhere. I will put the PID right here. No input signal and secondary drive. Enable fake point. Okay. 2 control blocks. What we're going to say is if enemy range is anywhere, PIDs set fake point value maximum. So those engines are going to go no matter what if there's an enemy near. And then if there's no enemy, we'll set the fake point value to 0.
Listening.
Alright, I'm running it like a cowboy. Let's bring in something to kill. I could go way harder than this, but we're just making sure everything works here. Why are those rockets? I did not spread. There we go. Okay, it's firing off the lures there.
Listening.
We can fairly assume that's going to head to Wreck Town. Let's go ahead and destroy enemy vehicles and bring in something a little bit more dangerous. And bear in mind this. Let's go ahead and save it right quick. Bear in mind this costs 22k material, so it's cheap. Way cheaper than that is. That thing is 136. Sonar detection. Errors, many errors there. So basically it's not really able to see it too well. Wireless detection is non-existent because there's no wireless on it. Passive sonar. Really, it's not going to see it. It might throw a few pot shots out there, but it's not going to see it, and so it's not going to hit it. We're going to go ahead and follow these in, just to see what we get. Not doing anything. They don't have the range. Oh. We can fairly well assume this guy would lose. I think that's probably at least 75% likely. Okay, that's basically how to make a stealthy submarine. You want to make sure that it's small. Make sure that there's no wireless connections, so that the wireless snoopers can't detect it. And make sure it's made out of a suitable material. Metal is bad for being invisible to sonar. Again, fast also helps. This is 33 meters a second, which is reasonably fast for a submarine. It's moderately fast for a submarine. So that's all for right now. Until next time, hasta la vista. Adios. Oh, one more thing. In addition to speed and materials and connections and size, there is also distance. the further away you can keep from the enemy, the less likely he is to see you. So that's another thing. All right, bye.